Okay, so even though it was a win, and I gotta say, just from a pure fan perspective of the game of hockey, I actually think that might have been the most entertaining and great game, pure hockey game of the season, but I'm not happy with the way Carolina played tonight. Because even though they got the win and they played a good game, they gave up 1 point on the standings, which to me is the equivalent of 2 points, because that's a point that they could have had taken away from them, and that would be a higher point year above them. And tonight, Carolina, Svechnikov, rare form for him, took a lazy penalty, and Florida ended up getting a goal, and then they later tied the game off of a missed puck play by Dougie Hamilton and an admittedly great set play by the Florida Panthers. So there's but that being said, Carolina still got the win, so they didn't give up 4 points. But it's like this is the second blown lead against Florida. I am not confident again going into a game against Florida at all, especially in a playoff series where defending leads is going to become the pivotal thing. That's the difference between winning and losing. And I yeah, it's just it was a rough. This game gave me an aneurysm. It was great hockey. I think the games like that is generally good for the game of hockey, but for my health, it was not a good game. Now on to but I thought Carolina played very well. One item of note: Vincent Trocheck got another goal against his old team. It's always satisfying to see a Hurricane score against their old team. Paquette also comes to mind earlier this season. So, if they can keep getting goals against their old team, especially teams we're going to need to beat and we're going to need to play better against, that is great. Jake Bean getting his first NHL goal. Very happy for him. I think I audibly cheered, although I was audibly angry during the next two goals of the game. And, just, yeah, like it was like it's just I've been saying it since game one though. Like Carolina, they played good all game, but it's like you gotta defend the lead. It has cost Carolina in the standings probably around 10 points in my opinion. Now it hasn't cost them 10 points in terms of they've lost 10 points, but when you factor in the points they've given other people, blowing two-goal leads is really something Carolina just has to work on. I'm going to sound like a broken record because it keeps coming up, and that's the frustrating part. Blowing leads is what turns great teams into just good teams. And Carolina is a great team, but they're on the verge of becoming just another good team in the league. And the easiest fix for that right now, the easiest flaw in Carolina's game is blowing leads against good hockey clubs. And they did it like, do you want to be worse than Florida? You got to defend the lead. And sounds like a broken record. And honestly, in the third period, after Florida got the tying goal, they were playing like the worst team. Now I think by overtime, they were the better team in overtime in my opinion. And I even remember there was one play I made that was a beautiful play by Jacob Slavin, where he actually made a horrible play and lost the battle, and then made up for it and made a great defensive play. I'll also point out Florida's reverse retros. I hope they come back. I actually would like to see the art style from their current logo mixed into the art style on the old logo and make that the main jersey, but that's not here nor there. But, I just felt like pointing it out because I do love me some beautiful jerseys, obviously. So, it's just who now time to award player of the game. And to me, I gotta give it to Aho. For me, I thought Jordan Stahl played good, but he didn't have a stand-up play every shift. To me, Aho had that. I thought Svechnikov at points was playing better hockey, but his lazy penalty, which that's what it was. There were two defensemen back. You were getting beaten in a battle. You needed to come in and cut around him if he just back checked and stuff. I don't mind penalties, but the lazy penalties I do have a problem with. So there's there's that. But yeah, I think I would give it to Aho. I thought Jordan Stahl, actually in the power play goal, I didn't see Chirp Tracy mention this. What directly resulted in the goal, the puck went in the corner. Aaron Ekblad, who had an amazing game for Florida tonight, was just a solid all-around defenseman. Very similar to why Jacob Slavin's my current favorite Carolina Hurricane. Is they went into the corner and Jordan Stahl managed, even though Ekblad had better body position, to smack the puck, swing it around to the point, pass it over to Jake Bean. Jake Bean got the goal. or something like that. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember pointing out, making note of that amazing battle win by Jordan Stahl. That play alone, other than the fact that he made some other good plays, almost gave him Hurricane of the game for me because that was a hard working play. Now, since I've talked about blowing leads in the future, what does this mean for Carolina going forward? Now, for me, they really got to do something about the mentality of this team needs to change when they get the lead. Brendamore's got it ingrained in their head. Brendamore knows how to defend a lead. I mean, he did it in Game 7. The Hurricanes had a 2-goal lead. Don't get me wrong, Edmonton got one in that Game 7, but then they held on and defended that lead. Carolina, so yeah, Brindamore knows something about defending the lead. So I don't know. I can't really blame Brindamore for it. But if the culture doesn't change, by the beginning of next season, as much as I love Brindamore, and I'm not saying fire Brindamore, I'll never even come close. I don't care if this team goes 0-82. I'm not going to say fire Brindamore. But you got to turn to Brindamore and say, look, man, your team tends to blow leads. We need to fix this. And granted, they are a young team. This is going to come with time, but now is the time. This is a good team. This team, in my opinion, has the potential to go for that Stanley Cup. And to do so, the biggest thing in their way is defending the lead. And when Carolina blows leads, you're going to hear rants for a couple minutes about why it is important to defend the lead and that they need to figure something out to do better when defending the leads. When they're behind, they play amazing. They can really come back in the hockey game. When they're ahead, they let other teams get back in games. It's cost them against Tampa. It's cost them against Florida twice. It's cost them against Dallas. A lot of their losses this season have been blown leads. So if Carolina can start learning to defend the lead, you're looking at the front runner to win the cup, in my opinion, because without defending the lead, Carolina is a strong contender. But, now that I've rambled on about that, comment down below. What do you guys think about the game? Should I have given Svechnikov the player of the game, even though he did make one lazy play, but I think he had a good follow-up shift? And, do you guys agree with my assessment on if Carolina can defend the lead? If they will be a better team for it? And if you guys like the content I'm producing on the channel, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys again in the next video.